Hey everyone, welcome back to Angela's channel. So today I want to talk about something that might stir up a bit of a debate. Marriage shouldn't be the ultimate goal in life. I know, I'm 17, so you are probably thinking, why is she even talking about this? Why does she even know about marriage? And look, fair point, you're right. I haven't been there, done that, or even thought seriously about it. Marriage is light years away from my priorities right now, but I've been reflecting on how society frames marriage. And honestly, I think it's worth a conversation, right? Let's go back to where most of us, first learn about the idea of love and relationships. We learn them from movies, books, K-dramas, TV shows, novels, fairy tales. Think about your favorite romantic movie. How does it usually end? Or how do you usually want it to end? A grand wedding, a proposal in the rain, or dramatic, tearful, I do. Roll credits, happy ending achieved. Growing up, I was the same. I thought it was just how life worked. Love equals marriage. Marriage equals happily ever after. It's the story we're told over and over again. As if once you find someone to marry, you've crossed the finish line. You've won at life. But have you ever wondered what happens after the credits roll? After the dress, the cake, the vows, real life doesn't come with a happily ever after guarantee. So why do we treat marriage like the ultimate achievement in the game of life? Don't get me wrong, I respect marriage deeply. I've seen and felt examples of love that have stood the test of time and space, like my parents and acquaintances. Their relationship is full of love, patience, and mutual respect, and it's inspiring to witness. And let me just say this, I love Vietnamese wedding traditions. The rituals, the respect for family and ancestors, the colors, the food, it's all so meaningful. It's a celebration of love and culture, and that's very beautiful. But even with all that respect and admiration, I can't help but feel that society puts too much pressure on marriage. We make it out to be the gold medal of adult life, and honestly, I think it's a little bit overrated. Let me tell you a story about someone I know. Let's call her Mrs. A. She's a kind woman, family-oriented, and loves to talk about her kids. Most of them are either married or about to. And she's so proud of that. One day, we were in a crew conversation, and that topic of marriage came up. Mrs. A started to share her thoughts. She said people in their 20s especially should get married quickly, settle down, and start families. She argued that if they wait too long, they'll get lazy and lose their chances. She even turned to my mom, and said, "You should make sure she marries early. It's better for her future." Can we take a moment for that? Better for my future? It's not that I don't understand where Mrs. A is coming from. In her eyes, marriage is stability. It's love, it's security, and that's true for some people. But the way she framed it and put it on me and other people in that crew, as if marriage is some ticking time bomb, and if you don't grab it fast enough, you're doomed, felt so wrong to me. Here's what bothers me. Society often treats marriage like it's the only path to happiness. as if you're incomplete without it, as if being single or choosing a different path makes you less successful or less fulfilled. But life isn't one-size-fits-all journey. Happiness doesn't come from a ring on your finger. It comes from knowing yourself, understanding what you want, and building a life that reflects your dreams, not someone else's expectation. Some people find incredible joy and purpose in marriage, and that's amazing. But others find it in different ways, by chasing their careers and dreams, by traveling and exploring the world, by creating meaningful friendships, or simply by learning to love their life and accept themselves. I think we also need to acknowledge the cultural influences here. In many cultures, including my own Vietnamese heritage, marriage is deeply tied to family and tradition. Vietnamese weddings, for example, are about more than just two people. They're about uniting families, showing respect, and especially honoring ancestors, which I love. I really do. But there's a difference between cherishing tradition and feeling trapped by it. Let me explain. Cherishing tradition means embracing the values, rituals, and cultural practices that bring meaning and connection to our lives. It's about appreciating the history and significance behind traditions, like the way Vietnamese weddings honor family and ancestors. It's a choice made with love and respect, not out of obligation. Feeling trapped by tradition, on the other hand, happens when those practices start to feel like expectations or burdens. It's when you participate not because it resonates with you, but because you fear judgment or rejection if you don't. Instead of adding joy, the tradition becomes a source of pressure, forcing you into roles or decisions that might not align with your true self. When people treat marriage as the only marker of a successful or meaningful life, it can create pressure, especially for young people like me. Think about it. How many people have gotten married simply because they felt they had to? Because they thought it was the right time? Or because they didn't want to disappoint their parents? Now, how many of those people felt unhappy later because they rushed into something that wasn't right for them? Marriage should never be about meeting a deadline or ticking a box. It should be about love, partnership, and shared values. And if that doesn't align with someone's goal, that's perfectly okay. So here's what I believe. Let's normalize celebrating all kinds of life paths. Let's cheer for the person who gets married young and the person who chooses not to marry at all. Let's celebrate career milestones, friendships, self-growth, and adventures just as much as we celebrate weddings. Life is too big, too beautiful, too complex and intricate to be boiled down to just one goal. And to Mrs. A, I'll say this. Marriage can be beautiful, but it's not for everyone, and that's okay. To anyone feeling the pressure to follow a timeline or meet expectations that don't feel right for them, take a deep breath. Trust yourself. Trust your intuition. Your journey is valid, no matter what it looks like. So, that's my take. Maybe my perspective will change one day. Maybe the 30-year-old version of me will be happily married and laugh at this video. But right now, I stand by this. Marriage shouldn't be the finish line of life. It also shouldn't be the finish line in love. I really believe that marriage is not the finish line, but rather the starting line. It's just the beginning of a new chapter. It's just one of many roads, and it's okay to take a different path. What about you? Do you agree? Disagree? I would love to hear your thoughts. Let's open up this conversation and celebrate the many ways people can find different happiness. Thank you so much for watching. How do you feel about today's video? Do you like it? And what topic would you like me to cover next time? Let me know in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye!